Ecobank, a leading financial services group in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa, as part of its corporate social responsibility, marked a special day focusing on mental health awareness. It was an opportunity to bring to the fore the need for individuals, corporations, and institutions to place more value on mental health. Executive Director, Commercial Banking, and Managing Director, CEO of Ecobank Nigeria, Carol Ayedeji, and Mr. Patrick Akinwuton, in their remarks, shared the importance of promoting mental health.
The fact that we've gone through a lockdown in the past 1 year, right? And we're still having issues dealing with some of the challenges that some of us faced last year means that, for all you know, there might be a little element of it in many of us, and we just don't know. So we need to understand ourselves very well. We need to know when we are very stressed. We need to know when to pace ourselves. We need to find joy in other aspects of our lives. I was in the town hall meeting in Port Harcourt, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I was explaining to them, yeah, work is very important, very, very important. But if it's all your life, you're in serious trouble. You're in serious trouble. Why? The minute anything happens to that job, you're dead. You must find joy in something else, in family, in a church or mosque society, in other community activities, in a hobby. When you leave work, try and shut down. And I know that in this space or in this day and time, 24/7, you're constantly on your laptop. So you find it very difficult to remove yourself from work, but you have to learn to do so. You have to have a balance in life, real balance. And that's how you probably start ensuring that inner well-being, you start building it up. And it's absolutely important.
What's special about Ecobank Day? It's because every year we take out time to look at areas where we can support our community much better. In the last 3 years, we've talked about supporting in handling cancer, how to eradicate malaria, and we've also looked at how to be fit in terms of our health. So this year, we're focused on mental health. We all know that Nigeria is a country with about 200 million people. There's a lot of hustle bustle. Day-to-day activities often unleash a lot of stress on quite a lot of our colleagues across the country. This year, we want to focus on how we support one another to improve on our mental health. This year, Ecobank is encouraging everyone to be sensitive and supportive, caring in arriving at better mental health for all Ecobankers and for all our customers and stakeholders that we interact with. This includes our immediate community, and our community are not just those that we see. Today, with social media, we reach out to millions of people. So in our communication to the world at large, we need to exercise more sensitivity to be supportive towards improved mental health. My name is Patrick Akinwuton. I manage Ecobank in Nigeria. And hey, you are not alone. We got your back. Thank you.
The event seminar featured quality presentations on the dynamics, emerging and critical issues in engendering mental health across Nigeria.
So when we're talking about mental health, it's just like our physical health. But unfortunately, we take care of our physical health, now we'll take care of our mental health. We place so much emphasis on the physical than on the mental. But then it's the mental that controls quite a whole lot of things about us. If your mental health is dysfunctional, then the physical health won't be able to pull through. So when we're talking about mental health in itself, what we're talking about, we're saying is a state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being, in which this individual is able to realize his or her own ability. Please mark that word. It doesn't mean that you are Superman. Excuse me. It doesn't mean that you are Iron Man. You know all those children cartoon, those make believe that yes, I can take over the world. No.
But where does your strength lie? It starts with who are you? Do you understand that you have certain strengths and you also have certain weaknesses? Do you understand your qualities? And that's what it's all about. I tell people oftentimes that when you have weaknesses, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means that is the other better part of you that makes you the person that you are. But oftentimes we run away from our weakness and quote because we see it as being all bad. No, you must understand because that also helps you to be able to work on it. That helps you to be able to deal with it, and then helps you to come to a place where you're better able to function. And then it's also you can cope with the normal stresses. Please mark that word, normal. I wanted to just look at this green key that talks about think, feel, and act. All right, that's the core essence of mental health. Your thought determines how you feel, and that leads to how you behave. All right, so if our thought is specifically negative, then it's going to affect our feelings. You're going to feel unhappy, you're going to feel moody, you're going to feel sad, and then automatically it leads to a behavioral problem where you now tend to withdraw. All right, so if I see myself as the most ugliest girl in this room, excuse me, what do you think? How do you think I'm going to feel? I'm going to feel sad. I feel inferior, right? I feel rejected. What other feeling will come in? Unhappy. And then what do you think the behavioral consequences are going to be? I withdraw. So even if they ask me to come and do something, what do? I shy away. I don't want to come there because I have told myself that I am not up to everybody in this room. And that's where mental health issues start from.
If you don't take anything home from this presentation or this day today, let us jointly eradicate the stigma. Do not let us discriminate. Some people are good in speaking in public. Some people, that is not their strength. Some people, they are social butterfly, they can go in about a lot of some people, they're anxious. We need to understand each individual for their own differences, and we should be able to work together to achieve a common goal in an organization. So this is very, very important. Myself as a psychiatrist, there's little I can do. Psychologists, but we all need to be on the same page and we all need to work together so that we can normalize this conversation around emotional and mental health in Nigeria as a whole. Now, another important slide I want to share is when do you seek help? It is important that you know that when day-to-day functioning is affected, then that is a red sign, red flag. Poor sleep or impairment in concentration, feeling worthlessness and hopeless, feeling life is not worth living. That is when this looks like I'm just saying a sentence, but if you've been in that situation before, you have a deep understanding of what I'm saying. Someone being in a place whereby all you can just see is darkness. You can't even see any ray of hope. And that's why it's good for us to say, yes, I'm here for you. But you're not going to do audio, I'm here for you. It's not about that. Go through your phone list and look at someone that you've not spoken to in a long. Send them a text. How are you? That might just be that hope that person needs. Look at that work colleague that normally used to hang out with you after Friday or Saturday, and the person has been missing in action for a while. Drop them a text. Look for that group admin in your WhatsApp group that is usually posting funny stuff. He has not posted anything in 3 weeks. Drop them a message. That might just be the light or the hope that person needs, and that person can then work their way back to recovery. So it is very, very important. Also, we need to be mindful of the choice of our words. We need to be kind to each other. We need to, I normally say this every time. If you don't have anything good to say, you can shut your mouth up. Just keep short. If you're going to open your mouth and all you want to do is put someone down or put a colleague down or insult someone, take a minute and think about consequences. Take a minute and think about, you don't know what this individual has been through. You've not walked in their shoes. You've not been part of their life experience. You don't want to say that thing that is going to trigger emotions. You don't want to say that thing that is going to ruin the other individual's rest of the day or how or whatever. So we need to be very, 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 very mindful. We should not be keen to just open our mouths carelessly. So that is very important because you don't want to trigger people's emotional and mental health problems of people.
Mary Katambi, a university graduate, also shared her experience on mental wellness.
The major components of mental health, one is cognitive health. To me, personally, it's about how I think. that affect my actions and my feelings. You can also relate to it. Sometimes you are at work, you have done a task, and your boss say, "Oh, this is a trash." At the end, you feel very bad, and the best way is for you to look for something to control that thought, because we are human beings. That's the truth. But the way to help us is to control, to not let that particular statement to control you. The another thing is emotional health. Emotional health is about accepting my emotional experience without denying them. This year, particularly, I went through emotional experience, very sad one. I lost my auntie. It was very emotional, and I couldn't deny that fact. My family, we all went through it, and this can happen to anybody. So if such thing happen, the best way is not to deny it, because if you deny it, it will actually hurt your feelings, and you can feel it within you. You just feel the burden. You're carrying something in your back that you can't even describe it. So you shouldn't hold such things. Then another thing is behavioral health. This one is about my quality relationship around people and how I feel around them. Sometime when I was in college, group of friends, I feel comfortable talking to them. While others I don't feel comfortable. Why? Because of the way they look at me, or I'm a village girl and things like that. So, and it can happen to anybody in a workplace because of the discrimination and other things. So we just have to not let those kind of things to affect us.
Carol Oyedeji speaks on Ecobank's commitment to mental health, while Oluwakemi Akintoyeshe, a clinical psychologist, and Dija, a music celebrity artist, highlight the role of the private sector and the music industry in deepening the awareness.
Ecobank Day in itself is a day that's been set aside to raise awareness around non-communicable diseases. Now, this year, we decided to focus on mental health. Why did we decide to focus on mental health is the fact that we are aware that this is actually a growing thing. It's a growing thing in the general society. Now, with the COVID issue last year and lockdown, we have seen that it's a disease that is growing and growing, quite significantly. It's very important that we raise awareness around it, not just awareness, but ensure that there's some fair level of sensitivity so that support is provided to people who are going through some form of mental health issues. It's also important that we as individuals are very much aware of ourselves. We know when something is wrong. We know we have a fair idea of our overall well-being, and can tell ourselves that it's probably time to stop and pace ourselves so that we don't find ourselves tipping over the edge and then probably find ourselves struggling with mental health on its own. So we in EcoBank, we believe that this is the time that we, let the society know that this is a very important thing to actually focus on, and just let people know that there is support. We need to be sensitive about it. And like we keep saying at the end of, most of the talks that we've been, sharing in this period, that you're not alone. Most people do actually go through mental health issues.
What EcoBank has done today, I think more corporate organizations needs to do that more for the staff. Don't forget that we spend more hours at work than at home or with family and every other thing. And so when we create more awareness, we enable staff to talk about it. We normalize the conversation. People go through challenges. We allow them to express themselves. We also tell them that we are there for them and not allowing them to feel as if, they are trying to be lazy or anything. That makes it more better. So corporate organizations should create more awareness, should also be able to create open door policy that help people to be able to cope. Let's reach out to organizations that can help them deal with things like this too. Invite them for webinars and other things like that. Let their staff be able to talk and open up about challenges that they might be going through. And it doesn't have to be work. There can be work, play, work, fun, and other things like that too. That would help in a whole lot of way for people to be able to manage this period.
The truth is, now that I've learned a bit along the years, I still feel I have a long way to go, because anything in music, not a finish. But with music and mental health, I started to realize there's music industry, and there are two very different things. The business of music can put a lot of strain and stress, because a lot of people think once you are now in the spotlight, that's it, everything is rosy. But that's the beginning of another journey. You know, you have to learn how to manage. You used emotions to get there, but now you have to learn to manage your emotions, because they could work against you in the public eye. And what I appreciate with music is that musicians are embracing their quote unquote, I say quote unquote because we don't like the words madness. But there's the specialities, their differences, and this is what we use our own stories to project, so that other people that are going through something, and if you're anything like myself, I don't know how to directly tell my problems, but I know how to like joke about them, or call that a defense mechanism or what. But at least someone that can relate to me would read in between the lines, I find, say, she's laughing about my serious stuffs and things like that. And writing and putting pen to paper, I was going into, I left pen and paper and was doing my phone, but I noticed that the mode of writing in paper relaxes me as well. And music and mental health, truthfully, being a popular musician, if you are a popular musician and you're really pushing, I believe everybody is a fantastic artist if they have a platform as well. You do deal with many different emotional things in your head, and musicians deal with things very differently. And they're extremely emotional, extremely loving, will do anything for anybody, those kind of stuff. So you do need outlets. Your music that has become your work. Now, before music was your outlet, but when it now became your career, it's not the outlet you thought it was before. You now have to find extra things. I heard here people talked a lot about exercise. We think someone like myself, I'm like, what am I looking for exercise? See my body. But exercise also helps you mentally. I also believe that we have a lot of psychologists and clinical psychologists, social workers that are out of work that need to be empowered. There's a need for it. If mental wellness, we're having mental wellness conversations and people are dealing with mental health, we should be finding the solution by empowering the people that are trained for it. And what music does for me, it has given me a platform to say these things and for you to sometimes take me seriously, sometimes maybe not, but at least it will remain in your mind. But honestly, music, I always say music saved my life, because I don't talk as well as I sing, I think. Even though people behind closed doors say you should talk about it. When I go on stage, I've forgotten everything. But please find where you have relief, no matter whether it looks crazy to anyone. There's nothing under the sun that has not happened to somebody else. So you will always find somebody that you can relate with and share your thoughts. And professionals as well. We shouldn't be afraid of empowering professionals.
Ecobank Nigeria's decision to join the movement for advancing mental health awareness in the nation is a welcome development. It is expected that other corporates will learn from this and also support the cause of ensuring that adequate policies and measures are put in place to achieve mental wellness in the country.